our kids 24/7. What a joy. So today is all about, we're going to be talking about what keeps us from being consistent. And today's topic, we're going to apply specifically to screen time. So I know, again, it's the summer. If you were like me, maybe you're a teacher, this is a time when you are just relaxing. But as the summer wears on, you notice that the boundaries that you have perhaps around screen time are starting to get really stretched out. And we know that screen time is not the best for growing brains. So we get to this moment of, oops, the screen time is now too much. So we got to rein it back in. So consistency can look like, oh no, something's gotten out of whack, and now I need to really draw a hard line. And what can happen is we draw this really hard line. Our children have a reaction, and we have a feeling around it, which causes us to step back. And you've done this. I know you have, because I've done it too. All right, we have 5 minutes of screen time. Responses like yelling, screaming, huffing, those kind of things. Oh, I don't like that feeling. I don't like them getting upset. So I either react with anger, or I might step back. I might say, oh, no, okay, just 5 minutes. And then when 5 minutes is over, 5 more minutes. So that inconsistency gets us into what I call the parenting pendulum. You're either here and being strict and really setting tight boundaries, or you're swinging over because of a reaction, a negative reaction that your children have. You have a feeling of guilt or shame, and then you're over here and you're giving 5 more minutes and then more minutes, and then all of a sudden they're in front of screens all day long. So how do you get off the parenting pendulum? And how do you create a parenting style that is consistent? The secret actually is beliefs. So in that example, you say, here's the limit. We are going to only have, fill in the blank, an hour of screen time, 2 hours of screen time. And now it's time to set the limit. When your child reacts in a negative way, then there's that little contraction feeling, and it can be a lot of different things. Again, guilt, shame, I don't want to be mean. I want them to listen to them. What's underneath when we react, we have this negative feeling, we react, and then we step back. Oftentimes, the need to step back comes from a limiting belief. And it can be a number of different things. For me, my limiting belief was people don't listen to me. So what are limiting beliefs? Limiting beliefs are beliefs that we created when we were really young and trying to figure out the world without the benefit of somebody wiser with more experience sitting beside us and helping to interpret what was going on for us. So we experience something, we perceive something as off, and we make a belief to support that, basically, and really and truly to keep ourselves safe. So my limiting belief of people don't listen to me comes from the fact that when I was growing up, my parents had very top-down kind of parenting style. You need to do this. This is when you're going to do it. You do it now. So that caused me to create a belief in myself, because when I didn't listen, I got punished. There was all kinds of negative consequences. So I decided to create this belief. People don't listen to me. And that belief kept me safe by not speaking up. So if I believe that people don't listen to me, then I stop speaking up and I back away, because they're not going to listen to me anyway. You see how that kind of connects to the parenting situation around screen time. So I have this limit. I set the limit. My children have a negative reaction. I feel this little contraction. I can feel that belief getting set off because we've got some emotions around it. And now I back away because people don't listen to me. So the good news is that limiting beliefs can be changed and transformed to more empowering beliefs. The thing about it is you gotta take the time to understand where those limiting beliefs came from. You don't always have to know the exact time, but you have to at least know that you have a limiting belief, and then you have to do some work around resolving it. So for me, I have to prove to myself that that's not true. So what are the times in my life when people did listen to me? Well, I actually was in theater and I have performed poetry and people have listened to me. So I know that that belief, people don't listen to me, is actually not true. We got to do some myth busting. Now I am going to replace it with a new limiting belief. People do listen to me, and I need to make what I want heard. That's my new empowering belief. So now let's go back to screen time. We're back in this moment where we need to set the limits of screen time. How do I apply this understanding of my new empowering belief, people do listen to me, to the situation? I have to write out the discomfort, because I'm setting a boundary that is actually healthy for my children. It's good for them to get out. It's good for them not to be in front of screens. It's great for us to connect. So I'm going to set the limit, and I'm going to do two things. Number one, I'm going to talk about the limit before I set it, and then we're going to come up with an agreement. And then in the moment, I'll remind them of the agreement. And again, I have over 20 years of experience in working with parents and families, and I know this sounds like something that you would do like with older kids, but you actually can do it with younger children too. This is the amount of time that we have for screen time. We're up to an hour. So when that hour is up, I'm going to remind you. And if you're feeling really cranky about it, that's okay. You can have those cranky feelings, but you have to know that I'm going to set that limit. So now, when the moment comes, we've had our conversation, and now when that time comes, I can say emphatically, okay, we had this conversation. We've got an hour of screen time. It's now about 30 minutes. So we've got to make a decision. Are you going to finish out this 30 minutes and then there's no more screens? Or are we going to maybe cut it in half and then go outside and do something else? I commit to also being off of my screen and doing something active with you. That doesn't always work. I'm going to be real with you. Sometimes they still get upset. Kids are kids. They have their own feelings. Those feelings are outside of what I want them to do. So if they do have a negative feeling, I have to go back into myself. And if I get that contracted feeling, that feeling of like, ugh, yuck, then I have to say to myself, yes, right now they are disagreeing with me, but people do listen to me. So I care for myself first. I take a step back from the situation, and then I go back in. I see that you're upset. We're still going to hold the line. And that's how you hold consistency. It can get a little bit messy. The truth is, though, that the temporary discomfort of setting a limit, an expectation, a boundary is much better than the long-term inconsistency that you are experiencing in your parenting. So consistency is king, but it's not enough for me to tell you that consistency is king and that you need to be consistent. You know that. What you need is help finding out what's underneath those the reasons why you're not consistent. So limiting beliefs can be one of those things. And that's the video for today. I hope you feel called to get more consistent, to find the reasons that you are unable to do the things that you want to. Help is on the way. You can do it. So please book a call with me if you are ready to do this work. I have an 8-week program. It's called Parenting on Purpose, and you're going to walk with me 90 minutes a week for 8 weeks, and it's going to totally transform your life. In that 90 minutes, we're going to look at all of the things that are holding you back from being consistent, And then I'm going to help you apply it, just like I did today with screen time. After that 90 minutes, you'll come up with an action plan and we'll see you again. So you've got 8 weeks to completely transform your life. And guess what? Bonus! Everything that we do can be applied to your parenting, but you'll see that it also transforms how you relate to other people. If you're sharing your parenting responsibilities, how you are at work, how you are in your own personal development. I want this for you. This kind of coaching has transformed the lives of people that I've worked with for over 20 years. And it's also transformed my life because I am still in the work and I want to do this work with you. So check out the links, book a call. I only have 5 spots where I'm coming to you from the end of June. So I only have 5 spots every quarter because this is really intensive work. So book a call. Let's see if you're a right fit for this. And I hope to talk to you soon.